Well, hello and welcome back to Read Becca. It's time for a tag video. This is the Spring Into Adventure tag by Randy Ray from the Literate Texan, promoting his event for reading adventure books. And I was tagged by the lovely Pat from Book Chat with Pat. So these are all, as I said, adventure themed questions. Prompt number 1 is, what is your favorite adventure book? So I think I'm going to be flexible and bend these a little bit, or make my own interpretation of adventure. I'm going to go with my favorite book of all, and that's Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. Left Hand of Darkness is not maybe what most people think of as adventure. She does have other books that definitely would fit in adventure, but this one features a very long, isolated ice journey on an ice planet, and I think that survivalism is very adventurous. Prompt number 2, what's the newest, most recently published adventure book you've read? So that's a hard one because I feel like I have transitioned away from reading a lot of things that I would fit into adventure. So the last book I can draw a direct line to that I would call adventure is probably River of the Gods by Candice Millard, which was a nonfiction adventure sort of book. It's following the expedition to find the source of the Nile and the explorers doing that. So I think that's pretty adventurous, right? I would feel so, and it had a lot of the vibes I would look for in an adventure. Prompt number 3, what's the oldest or earliest published adventure book you've read? And that's a tough one because I haven't tracked a lot of the older stuff I read as a kid, a lot of the classics and stuff. I grew up on children's classics. So I think probably things like Robinson Crusoe would be a go-to there. But then I have read older works than that, like the Epic of Gilgamesh. That's probably an adventure book that's very, very old. Prompt number 4, who's your favorite adventure book author? It's a very tough one because I don't really read vast swaths of adventure books. Probably the the Dragonlance series. Dragonlance has been written by many authors, but the prominent people who started it are Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss. And so they're probably the biggest authorial names that stand out. And that is a classic fantasy series that is based in the Dungeons and Dragons world and has run many, many series and all set in the same world, spanning massive amounts of time and characters. Number 6, who's your favorite adventure book character? I will return to Dragonlance for this, to the character of Tasselhoff Burfoot, who is a perennial favorite of mine. Taz is a Kender, which is a humanoid race in the D&D world, and they sort of have the personality of ferrets. So I'm always drawn to Kender because they're extremely good-natured and friendly and always genial, and they also have a tendency to, well-intentioned, steal things. So they will just acquire things out of the good intention to keep an eye on it for you, or by accident because it was shiny. And they're just very entertaining, chaotic characters. Number 7, do you prefer fiction or nonfiction adventure books? I think certainly, like I've said, I've read a lot of fantasy stuff in the past, as well as like children's classics. I don't feel like I have read a ton of adventure nonfiction, though I do feel like I'm kind of transitioning in that area because I am reading less classic fantasy that's very adventurous and reading a lot more nonfiction currently. So I haven't really looked at my current nonfiction reading to see if there has been a preponderance of adventure there. Number 8, do you consider yourself adventurous? Why or why not? I think so, probably. It's a mix because I will try just about anything once. I love to travel. I love trying new things. So I think that's probably adventurous. I'm also a homebody though, who likes to be at home with my books and my cats, my cozy. So that certainly is less adventurous. So it's a balance, definitely. And number 9, what's your favorite genre to combine with the adventure genre? Probably fantasy. As I said, I do really like good classic fantasy. Number 10, do you play or have you ever played adventure-themed games? Yes. Video games, board games, tabletop RPGs, etc. I have a whole shelf of board games. I do play tabletop RPGs, which is like pen and paper style, things like D&D or Pathfinder. I play Pathfinder right now. I have been in the past a very hardcore video gamer, though I am not currently. I'm struggling to even play any video games, which is kind of a disappointment because I do need to find better balance for that because it's something I enjoy. But I was hardcore into World of Warcraft. To the point I was in a very serious guild in World of Warcraft that was kind of like a job. And we were competitive to the point of going for world first, which is like they release new content and you are the first one in all of the servers in the world to complete it. And so we were competitive for that. I don't think we ever got any actual world first. We got server first, but I feel like I would remember for sure if we did get any world firsts. But that was a huge effort and time undertaking in World of Warcraft. I've also played a number of other MMORPGs, which are kind of the massively online games prior to that I really enjoyed as well. None quite as seriously, but yes, I am all around big into adventure gaming. And number 11 is tag some people. So I am going to tag Nikki's books, I think, Melinda from A Web of Stories, and Berna's Bookish Adventures, because she has adventures in her channel name. So that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching.